Check. Swig. Check. Recording this at a ridiculous hour. Check. Got my pupper sleeping. Check. I can't show you. But she's right here sleeping.
Ho, 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 ho!
Good morrow, everybody. My name is Robin, also known as SunnySideUpGal, and you are my Sunnyside Up pal. Welcome to my channel. Welcome. If this is your first time visiting me, oh my god, welcome. Let me show you the tour. Hi. How are you? If you are returning, thank you so much. Welcome. It's day 12 of Vlogmas, and I'm here again recording. Wow, she records every day. She edits every day. Wow, where does she find the time? She doesn't. Her house is being neglected. Today we are doing a reaction video. I'm gonna try and keep it short because mommy don't have no time again. Let's get started. I was going to do a video on random hashtags. So for today's hashtag, I chose
Fat Liberationists.
because I was like, who's claiming this? Who's claiming this title?
I'm a fat liberationist and I want you to know about it.
Let's check it out. Okay, so I don't have a ton in here, but then we can just bounce back to the hashtag if we need to. All right, so this gal's name is Bex Haven. 8 out of 10 women.
And then she's got diet culture dropout, diet culture is toxic, diet culture sucks, diet culture lies, anti-diet culture, anti-culture movement, fat with a PH, BBW, fat activist, fat activism, fat positive, fat positivity, fat liberation, fat liberationist, body positive, body positivity, Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Fairfield, Iowa.
Okay.
They're unhappy with their
Yo, what's up with your volume? It's not me, I promise you.
fuck diet culture.
And then she didn't cut out the cap cut. Her audio sucks and she didn't cut out cap cut. It just feels like an old person thing to do.
8 out of 10 women say they're unhappy with their reflection. Fuck diet culture.
And that's it. Wow, so inspirational. 8 out of 10 women do not like their reflection. Fuck diet culture. Okay, this is a person called Fantastical Fatty. Your diet is torturing you and yoy deserve better. Yoy manoy. You deserve fat joy. Oh, that was another one I was going to do, fat joy.
Fantastical Fatties, I've really been struggling with how to say this. So I'm just going to say it. The diet you're on is torturing you. And fatties, you deserve better. You deserve joy.
Let's look at her profile. Hold on a second. Okay, these are old. I need a recent one. Okay, so she hasn't been on in a while. I hope she's okay. Is she doing stories? No, she's not. Are they? Okay, they're not. They're not. They are not. But they work out.
You know, there's no such thing as dressing your age. Anyway.
Hey, does anybody else?
It's the first morning. I can always tell.
Fatties, get ready with me while I tell you 5 reasons I don't engage with trolls. Number 1, I don't believe in punching down. People who love themselves, respect themselves, and are secure in who they are don't try to hurt other people. When a troll tries to bully you, that's because they're filled with their own self-loathing and insecurity. And friends, we don't punch down. Number 2, it is pointless. Science is not on their side. They are uneducated, ignorant, and invested in being wrong. Why am I going to try to engage?
Science is not on their side. The fat liberation and fat acceptance community is like the least science-based. It's like they're just closing their eyes to reality. It's so bananas to me. Like, are we living in a real world right now? This is crazy.
With somebody who has no interest in being open to learning. Number 3, because the bullying never stops. Unlike when you confront a bully in real life and they are seen and witnessed and often run with their tail between their legs out of shame because they know they're in the wrong. When it's online, they're
okay, this isn't really fat related, but I agree. The only way to stop an online bully is clearly to ignore them. That's number 1, right? Ignore them. I've had to deal with online bullying before because I have a weight loss Instagram, basically a keto Instagram, and people make fun of me for it. So the first thing, obviously ignore them. They want you to reply. Second off, kill them with kindness. Killing people with kindness is one of my favorite things to do because it's like, people don't know how to respond to that. I feel like nobody knows how to respond to kindness anymore. And it's so much easier just to be nice and be like, even though I'll see somebody who's fat as hell and I'll still be like, those are nice shoes. But then I'll go and tell Michael like, oh my God, you know? And then as far as like last resort, flirt. I feel like it stops a lot of people in their tracks when you're like, oh my God, are you flirting with me? Like, and it sounds stupid, but it does. It does stop people because they don't want you to think that because you're fat. Okay, so she has this handle called Fantastical Fatty, but I'm not getting a lot of fat related stuff here. I'm not getting a lot of juicy fat things here. Okay, this gal has fat liberationist in her hashtags, but she's not the normal fat person. So the caption says, hey baby girl, can I get your number? She says no. Cis het man calls her a fat B word.
I'll be damned if I listen to facts about the mouth of a man with an unwashed hand.
Oh, okay. Fact, a ton of cis het men turn violent when they get rejected. And I used to listen to it, but we are not believing the words of a man that uses 12 in 1. My small fat body just deals with this shit all the time. Oh, she's a small fat. Oh my God, shut up. My small fat body deals with this shit all the time. It's important to note this violence only, I'm blind. It's important to know this violence only intensifies as the targeted body increases in size and identifies as BIPOC, AAPI, and or 2S LGBTQIA+. I don't know what AAPI is. Asian American Pacific Islander. Me. I'm a dumbass. Okay. Protect yourselves, protect each other, and never internalize that shit they're projecting on their unhappiness and internal issues on you. I love you, and you're never in doubt worth of. Okay, so she's not fat, and I wouldn't even say she's a small fat. I would say she's curvy. She has like a nice body, in my opinion. Like, look at those mommy milkers. Look at this waist. Where can I get high cut bikinis? Where can I get high cut underwear? I feel like everybody looks good in high cut. We should all be wearing high cut. Like,
Look at these milkers.
and they're so perky. You're a small fat, madam. You are not. I wonder if anybody's calling her out on the small fat thing. My small fat body. Okay, oh yes, no comment. Nobody is calling her out on small fat. What is considered a small fat? All right, so I'm looking at this categories infographic from fluffykittenparty.com. So categories, understanding the fatness spectrum. We've got small fat, mid fat, large fat, super fat / infini fat, death fat. What the fuck? Well, that is crazy. Okay, so a small fat is a woman, below a U.S. woman's 18 or 1X or 2X. This is the smaller end of the fatness spectrum. Small fats can usually straddle the line between fat and straight size. They can face medical discrimination and poor interpersonal treatment, but are generally able to participate in public life with few restrictions based on size. That sounds like just like mid-size. That literally is just mid-size. Anybody below a 18 or above a 10, right? Or above a 12. I think the reason why they don't like the terminology mid-size is because they think that people are trying to escape the fatness spectrum, trying to escape fat identity. It's bananas. It's bananas. Bananas. Okay. But look at here. Look at here. Some music.
Faces side by side, my never such a funny side. Faces are disappearing.
Okay. Let me mute that. Let's watch that again. You can't even read it. Okay, bruh. Look at your screens if you're listening. Can you read that? Here is how I get... Okay, madam... That is terrible this is terrible. But maybe she did that so that you would watch it again. I'm clearly giving her a second view. Here's how I get my body ready for summer. The high cuts. You guys, everybody looks good in high cut. Seriously, she's smaller than I am. I don't know. I feel like she is. But look at that. Everybody looks good in high cut. We should all be wearing high cut. Oh, I spend time with my body seeing her, who she is. Oh, girl, terrible font. I kind of want to reply terrible font. Nah, let's just leave it. We're not going to bully Robin. Okay, I'm not going to bother with reading that. But she has in her hashtags fat liberationist, and she claims to be a small fat. I would say mid-size. But yeah, do you agree? She doesn't really belong in fat. And the title of fat liberationist, I think I'm going to just take it from her. I just don't think that she's a part of the community. And you know what? I bet the community doesn't think that either. Some of the community, the more insufferable ones, the big ones. All right, so I don't think that she is a member of the community. I mean, I think so. I think she's I think we can, as a group, remove her fat liberationist title. I don't know why I just don't think. Am I being mean? She can claim whatever she wants, right? But I just don't think that this is a fat body. Maybe in the 80s, it'd be like, damn, that bitch is fat. 80s and 90s, this is like a pretty average sized body now. It doesn't appear, like I look at her and I'm like, I don't think that you have type 2 diabetes. Okay, so, see if there's music. Yes, there is. God damn it. All right, so let's read this caption. Things we think. Okay, this person's called Madison Salif. If she looks familiar, you may have seen her. I think she's that belly dancer chick. Let's check a look. Yes, she is. Things we think influence body weight the most. And then she's got diet, exercise. What actually affects the weight most? I think she has a scary smile, like I'm scared. And cringy. Genetics, experiences of trauma, weight cycling, socioeconomic status, levels of stress, zip code. I will break this down. History of disordered eating, medical weight stigma, medications, mental health, emotional support. Okay, that's it. God, what a creep. Let's break them. Let's go through every single one. Genetics. Okay, sure. I think that if your family has the ability to gain weight quickly, that is passed on to you. Type 2 diabetes is not necessarily genetic, but it is like a predisposition. So if your parents have it, their parents have it, you may get it if you live a certain way and eat a certain way. I don't think that there is a fat gene. Maybe there is. I'm not a scientist. I'm not reading a medical journal right now with you guys here on the phone with me. No, rude. It's rude. I don't think that there's a fat gene. I don't think that there's a family of fats that only create fats, because that just doesn't make sense. Like it's a no. It's a no. Genetics is a no. Experience of trauma. I think that experiences of trauma can create behaviors that lead to obesity. It's not the trauma itself that causes obesity or affects body weight, but it leads to behaviors that can be controlled. It's a controllable thing. Diet and exercise can help you. Weight cycling. What actually affects body weight most? Weight cycling. Okay. Socioeconomic status. I agree. I mean, it still breaks down to the amount of movement that you're doing and the amount of like what you're eating, like what you are eating. So socioeconomic status, I get it. I kind of do believe this. Like people that it's obesity is common in poorer communities because a lot of the foods that are sold in poorer communities are like, a lot of the options that you have are going to be fast food, gas station food, which is strange because gas station food is expensive. Dollar stores and like Dollar Generals. So that makes sense. Socioeconomic status does make sense to me. However, it is still, it's still like, it's the amount of food that you put, like, yeah, you can eat that stuff, but you can also just like eat less of that stuff. Right? I feel like a lot of people are like, it's because of their socioeconomic status, but it's like, they can't afford anything else. Yeah, but like you can still, the thing with the foods that you're getting, they're so addictive and they're so engineered to be highly palatable. So you're just going to overeat on them, right? So even if you are in a social, like if you're in a position where like you can't afford like good food, you can still eat less of the, like you can still eat less bulk, right? I don't know if I'm even saying that correctly. What I'm saying is that Americans eat too much. Regardless of what you're eating too much and too often. Does that make sense? Am I making any sense? Is this video even good? All right, levels of stress. So, okay, that does make sense. Cortisol levels do affect like how, like your fat storing and controlling levels of stress is a great way to boost your fat burning and boost your weight loss journey if you're having a problem. Zip code, food deserts, I get it. History of disordered eating. So yes, that's very true. You can fluctuate in weight quite often if you've already had a history of disordered eating. Okay, medical weight stigma. Does medical weight stigma affect body weight? More than what you're eating? No. Medications, also no. Even if you take a medication that you know what? Unless it's like steroids, but that's like water weight. I don't think steroids are like making you fat, are they? I think it's just making you like bloat with water. Medications, people are like, I'm on this medication, I'm on birth control, I'm on this antidepressant, it made me fat. Mama, no. Antidepressants are not a fat Like they don't, they're not loaded with calories, or they're not loaded with carbohydrates or anything that's going to like make you gain the weight. If that was true, they would give it to like people who are starving. Am I right or am I wrong? I'm probably wrong. Mental health. Okay, yes. You can gain fat if you are eating incorrectly because of your mental health issues. And then what's the last one say? Emotional support. So if you have a lack of emotional support, it's gonna affect your body weight and you're gonna get fat. So all in all, it still boils down to food. Like you cannot gain fat without the food that you're eating. And you're eating too much. That is my biggest thing with America, is we just eat way too much and way too often. Skip a meal. Let's read the caption. Shaming people into a different body size literally scientifically does not work. Fat people exist and have always existed. A war on obesity is a war on human body size diversity. Let's call it what it is, eugenics. Despite the billions of dollars meant to eradicate our fat bodies, we still exist. I'm going to do an entire episode on this chick. She is out of control. Facts on facts, and the diet industry knows all this and will keep trying to sell us useless junk that doesn't work, promised. Yeah, okay, people who are falling into the grasp of diet culture, although I've seen Weight Watchers work on a lot of people who are falling into the grasps of the diet industry, like buying Slim Fast or like buying these pills that help you lose weight. Like, I have learned my lesson and I would never fall for that stuff anymore. I don't even buy I really don't, unless I'm like starving and I'm at a gas station. I really don't buy anything that's like keto, right? I make everything mostly. I try. Okay. But the diet industry is just so like, even the people who are losing weight without using the tools from the diet industry, like Weight Watchers or Ozempic medications or mail-in meals or kind of accounts. The people who are losing weight without all of this diet industry help also see that the diet industry is flawed and it's just a money grab. So they're just making excuses. Doctors left a brain tumor. Oh my God. I'm sorry for laughing. Okay, can you even see that? All right, let's read that. So doctors left a brain tumor in my head for over 3 years because they insisted my symptoms were because of my weight. Luckily, somebody listened to me and I'm okay now, but it did so much damage during those years that I will never be the same. I lost my career as a dentist because of it. That is actually so sad. But I wonder how many doctors you went to. But you know what? It is hard to like just be bouncing around from doctor to doctor, especially if you like can't miss work or you can't afford to go to the doctor for like a second or a third or a fourth opinion. You know what I mean? At the same time, though, I've literally gone to the emergency room with a migraine and was like, I think I have a tumor. I think I have something wrong. Can I get an MRI? And they're like, yeah, let's get you an MRI. But I know that not everybody's experiences are mine. But in the future, if you ever think that you have a tumor, just go to the emergency room and be like, I have a tumor, I think. Guess maybe they'll do an MRI on you. I didn't have a tumor. I had obesity.
You don't have OCD. You have obesity.
Bruh.
Okay, thank you. I didn't know my psychiatrist was on here. Thank you.
It was obesity in my situation. I was literally getting like high glucose headaches because I had diabetes. Oh, okay. This person's called Fierce Fatty. I also am going to do another episode of her. I was going to do this episode about her, but I was like, I don't have a ton of time. So let me just feed you a little bit. Let me just feed you a little bit.
Here are 3 benefits of being fat.
You guys may have already seen this before, but I just wanted to go over it.
If you're tired of only hearing why it's so awful to be fat, then listen up. Hey, I'm Vinny, aka Fierce Fatty, and I help people unlearn anti-fat bias so they can live without shame and be a fat ally. Understanding that there are benefits to being fat is going to...
There are 0 benefits to being fat. I think the only benefit to being fat is like it's difficult for you to be kidnapped.
Was she a great big fat person?
Because you're heavy.
It rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
That's the only benefit of being fat I can think of.
Chip away at that anti-fat bias that we all have in our brains. And by the way, there are many benefits to being fat. We're going to start with just 3. Number 1.
Before she starts ranting off a bunch of bullshit, I do want to say I love her hair and I love her glasses. I could never pull off glasses like that. Those glasses to me scream I'm a nightmare to deal with. And I did have I'll show a picture. I had a big pair of green glasses and I wore them all the time and I was a nightmare. No, I wasn't. But I just, those type of glasses scream, I'm going to be annoying and a bitch.
1. and you get to be in community with fat people.
Fat community sounds sweaty. I like this community. I like y'all. Oh, I forgot to change this back. I'm so sorry that you guys had to experience this crookedness for a little bit.
Fat community not only is being in community with fat people virtually or in person filled with so much joy and fun.
It just sounds like they're making this up. It sounds like this person really is miserable. This should have been in my copium episode.
And laughter and fat goodness, but also it protects our mental health and helps us stop internalizing anti-fat beliefs. Number 2, we are incredible and resilient.
Not if you get sick.
And she's big, so when she gets sick, she gets sick. Shut up.
Known fat people who have gotten sick and then like one thing after another, broken ankle, then they got this, and then they were laying in bed for too long, and then they got this, and then their kidneys fucked up because they're eating fucking gobs and gobs of corn on the cobs. But like, no. I wonder if she's talking about health or not, so let's
And then it's highly likely that you've experienced shame, bullying.
Oh, so she's not talking about being physically resilient, she's talking about bouncing back from like bullying.
Exclusion, being judged left, right and centre, all because of your body. And guess what? You survived. And to me, that is incredible. And so you've had to, unfortunately, learn to be resilient.
I guess that's good. 2, I think from growing up and being fat, like being one of the fattest kids in every single class that I was ever in, being the fattest girl in most of my classes in high school. So again, I was 230 pounds. And then just having brothers and being called fat all the time, it doesn't faze me anymore when people bully me because I know that I'm fucking cool. So
3, fat people are easy to find in a crowd.
Are these the only benefits that you're coming up with? These are so, like, if this was your final exam, you would fail.
Lost your friend at a concert? If they're fat, they're going to be way easier to spot in a sea of straight-sized bodies. If you'd like the full list...
They're probably also tall. For some reason, I think it's because they ate so much, and the more fucking hormone riddled food that you eat as a fat kid, you're going to be tall as hell.
Of all the benefits, you can go check out my podcast, the Fierce Fatty Podcast.
I think I've found my person.
You've charmed me. Yeah? You've got the job.
I think we're gonna cover her quite often. I'm gonna follow. Oh, I am following her. All right, let's take a look here. You know what? Tomorrow, come back tomorrow because we're gonna dive deep into Fierce Fatty. I'm gonna wake up early and make sure that this is edited for you. And tomorrow's Saturday, so it'll probably be an evening post. So hold on to your butts because we're gonna talk about the Fierce Fatty. I love her for the inspiration that I'm getting right now. I'm getting so many ideas. Okay, let's do one more. Let's do an old one. Okay, let's do a reading one, so it's less exciting. We're going to leave the excitement to tomorrow, so you're going to have to just come back tomorrow if you want to see me talk trash about the Fierce Fatty. How framing fatness as a disease contributes to the harm of fat folks. In 2013, the AMA famously and controversially went against their own expert advice to classify fatness as a disease, with BMI as a way to diagnose the disease. The AMA's own Council on Science and Public Health advised that there was not enough evidence to claim fatness as a disease, but the AMA went ahead anyway. The weight loss industry was licking their chops, glad that their lobbying had paid off. If fatness is a disease, then there are billions to be made to cure it. This foreshadowed the rise of Wegovy and other GLPs. So AMA, I think, is Australian Medical Association. The idea that fatness is a disease contributes to the medicalization of a normal body type. It's not a normal body type. Being obese is not normal. The medicalized framing is something that is the medicalized framing is something that I cannot read today. This medicalized framing is something that the disability rights community has known to be harmful to disabled people. This is demonstrated in the medical versus social model of disability. So what's crazy is that they've classified fatness as a disease. So wouldn't that make getting disability benefits easier if you have a disease? Yeah? Wouldn't it make it easier if you have a disease to get the disability benefits that you're looking for? All right, medical model. Oh wait, so she's going to tell us medical model of disability. The person is disabled by the abnormalities and deficits in their own body and or brain. Social model of disability. The person is disabled by their environment and its physical, attitudinal, communication, and social barriers. Disabled people are broken, abnormal, or damaged versions of human beings and should be fixed, cured, and or prevented. Social model of disability. Disabled people are normal, valid varieties of human being, and it should have equal rights and access to society as they are. Yo, I have talked to disabled people who are clearly happy with their situation, but in another universe, like if they could remove their disability, they absolutely would. Like if they could fix whatever was wrong with them, they absolutely would. The disabled persons should adjust to fit into society since they are the one who is not normal. Being part of society means rising above the disability. So no, we've already made like changes to help disabled people have it easier to function in society, like parking, wheelchair accessibility. We're making fucking doors huger. Have you been to some of these new buildings? Like the doors are like you can walk a fridge through it. Disabled person should be supported by society because they are equal and have a right to inclusion, and their community should adjust its own barriers and biases. No, it's to me, I use this fish tank thing so often, but like if you outgrow your fish tank, like that's exactly what it is. Like we have a set size, we have a set world, right? The world is already set up to have human beings, and then you have this person who was not born 500 pounds, and they've eaten themselves to be so big that they can't fit in seats or fit through doors.
And they're like, the community should adjust its own barriers. The community should adjust its own. The my world should grow around me because I can't stop growing.
And I'm like, no, that's wrong. Stick to your fish tank size. This is a 5-gallon fish tank only. Sounds familiar, huh? The medical model of disability leads to attitudes and perceptions that disabled people are the problem. The social model helps people understand that the world being accessible and ableism is the problem. So she's clearly talking about other disabilities. I'm not. I'm talking about people who are claiming like fatness as a disability, which I get it. If you can't walk anymore and you do have to have a wheelchair, like you should be like your world should be accessible for you as far as like wheelchair accessibility, but you're still going to get the judgment that you literally hurt yourself. I'm judging. All right, lastly, let's visit the fat liberation hashtag and bounce around in there for a couple minutes, and then we are going to call it a day. Let's do a random long scroll. Hopefully what I pick you guys have not seen already. Dear ex-fats, how to stay an ally. You have a unique and powerful perspective. You've been fat. You know how the world treats fat bodies. This is your chance to break the cycle. Okay, let's take a look. Why this matters. Losing fat doesn't end fat discrimination and fat phobia. Fat people still face medical bias, harassment, discrimination. Not everybody can or wants to lose weight. The ability to change your size is a privilege, and it comes with the responsibility for how you speak about fatness. Your new thin privilege is power. Use it to fight anti-fat bias, not reinforce it. Here's how to manage the transition of being an ally after losing weight. Talk to your past with respect, not disgust or shame. Listen to fat people's experience now. They know their bodies and live better. Oh, they know. I thought they were going to say they know their bodies and they live better than you. They know their bodies and life better than you, and why and how you lost weight is personal, not universal. Okay, so don't talk about your past talk about your past with respect. I get that. You know, the person that I was 2 or 3 years ago is still who I am here, right? In my heart. But I also was making a lot of stupid decisions and bad choices around food and drinking, and I feel like I'm in a much better place here for losing the fat. Listen to fat people's experience now. They know their bodies and lives better than you, and why and how you lost weight is personal, not universal. I think I do a pretty fair job of listening to some of these people's experience because as a fat person, I did experience medical fat bias, but I'm also understanding that most of the time, it is because you're fat. Most of the time it is because you're fat. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's precancer in your uterus. Sometimes it's a brain tumor. But most of the time losing weight can help. Now, get a second opinion if you feel like something really, is wrong. Definitely get a second opinion because these people are still, doctors are still just people. They're not magicians. But the fact I've literally only had one doctor tell me to lose weight, and he was a jerk about it. But the fact that a lot of these people are like, so many doctors are telling us to lose weight, so many doctors are telling us to lose weight. I'm like, I feel like then maybe we should listen, right? If it's happening so much, then maybe it is like a problem, but they don't see it that way. They just want to keep eating. And losing weight is it's not the prescription. So like, it's not, oh, you're this, you're getting this, you're getting this. Let's prescribe you weight loss. It also is preventative medicine. So when you're at a healthy body size, you're not going to the list of diseases that you are susceptible to like is cut in half, especially particularly gynecological cancers, other cancers, type 2 diabetes. I mean, regular people can get all of this, but you're at a higher risk and higher fat body. So credit Fat Liberation for how it helped when you were bigger. Many of its ideas like body neutrality and access rights still protect you today. Credit Fat Liberation. Like in your everyday life when you're you're getting your coffee at Starbucks and you're like,
thank you. I hope you know that Fat Liberation got me here.
You're getting gas and you see somebody pull up next to you, you're like,
just to let you know, if it wasn't for Fat Liberation, I wouldn't be here.
Challenge anti-fat bias when you see it, even if it benefits you now. No. Okay, do recognize structural issues and your privilege rather than framing fatness as a purely personal responsibility. What? Recognize structural issues and your privilege rather than framing fatness as a purely personal responsibility. Recognize structural issues and your privilege rather than framing fatness as purely personal responsibility. I guess I'm stupid and I just don't understand that first one, so I'm just going to skip it. Support fat access needs, even if they no longer apply to you. I agree. So, like, seatbelt extenders, that's a safety issue. You need it. Am I going to judge you? Way back here, I will. Way back in the back of my brain, I will. To your face, absolutely not. You deserve safe. You deserve to be safe on a plane. You deserve to be safe in a car. Fat access needs. What are other fat access needs? Your scooter? I will not support that. Because you need to walk, Mamacita. Would clothing be a thing? I don't want to see naked fat people, so I do support them getting the clothing that they deserve. If you have an online presence, accept that many of your fat followers who helped build your audience may choose to stop following you to protect their peace. Fuck them. Uplift other larger, fat, black, and brown voices when offered opportunities that no longer apply to you. Uplift larger, fat, and black, brown voices. Okay. Do not post before and after photos to prove moral worth or how hard work pays off. It fuels stigma and undermines your past self. I'm gonna do what I want, right? We're gonna do what we want as ex-fatties. And we're gonna post before and after because I want to inspire everybody else to get healthy if they're struggling. I feel like, oh my God, am I getting here? Am I getting here? I feel like I have a responsibility as somebody with insulin resistance, prediabetes, PCOS, Hashimoto's, with hypothyroidism, that it's my responsibility to show people, hey, it's possible to lose weight. And I didn't even have to work out very much, like walking, but I still lost the weight, even as a sedentary office gal. It's my responsibility to show people, hey, you can do this, and you don't have to, like, kill yourself at the gym for it. You should work out, though. Listen, I'm not trying to justify, like, not working out. Mommy does need to do strength training, okay, and stretching. I do need to walk more. But there was a point in my life where I was working out like every single day. Like clearly I wake up at 3:00 in the morning, sometimes 1:30 in the morning, and I would go to the gym and I would walk on the treadmill for hours and I would do strength training. I'd do a circuit and then I'd cool down and watch anime on my treadmill. I didn't realize what I was doing, how hard I was working, that it was actually more harmful to me because of my Hashimoto's. People have to do like, as far as like hormones go, it was just not beneficial for me. So I stopped working out and I started walking at home, and my weight loss was like,
oh my God, I'm ready to come off. I'm ready to burn this fat.
It was much better than killing myself at the gym. But I do need to start strength training again. Like we're going to set up our office as a gym. I think we're going to get like a Bowflex or something, but I don't want to go to the gym. I want to work out at home. But yes, back to the thing. I feel like if you've got medical issues or you know people who were in the same mindset, like the denial, like, hey, I've got XYZ and it's just impossible for me to lose weight, so I'm just going to love myself in this big fat body. Well, first of all, you should love yourself all the time, no matter what. But It's unhealthy. Like, you can do it. You can do it. Okay? How often are you eating? What are you eating? Right? How much are you eating? Because it all boils down to the food, you guys. It all boils down to the food and how often and how much you're eating. I'm not going to say calories just because I don't count calories and I don't have calorie eyes. I have carbohydrate eyes though. Like, I count carbohydrates and I love eating fat. But it all boils down to how much food you're eating and how often you're eating. I'm going to say it again. We can all afford to skip a meal. Okay? Don't share details on how you lost the weight. You can control how it's received, or you can't control how it's received, and it may trigger or harm your audience. No, I'm not responsible for the triggers of my audience. Am I? Am I? I think when you do trigger warnings, that's a very nice gesture. But at the same time, it's not your responsibility. Everybody's responsible for their own triggers. So it's a nice gesture. Like yesterday in my vlog, I was like, guys, I'm going to talk about XYZ. That's a nice gesture. But I could have just did it, and then you guys have to control your own triggers. Like, clearly, if you're watching this video, you're in this community, you're in this realm of the internet, you know, the anti-fat awareness people, the anti-fat acceptance group community, you're gonna hear things like ED, disordered eating, binging, etc. Okay? So you're the driver on your phone, right? You know where you're going, you know what you're doing. You have to control your triggers. If you are triggered by words, then don't be on the internet as much, right? If you're triggered by those other words that I was mentioning, then don't be in the anti-fat acceptance group, because we talk about that sometimes. Okay, don't dismiss fat people's realities because they don't match your own experience. And don't reject fat liberation because you've moved on. It's ongoing intersectional movement that benefits everyone. It does not benefit skinny people, right? Don't dismiss fat people's realities because they don't match your own experience. Again, we're gonna do what we want, right? But I don't think a lot of people dismiss realities unless I can tell. Listen, we're all equipped to like tell when people are lying. I know that people are like, you can't just like know that somebody's lying. I can tell when somebody's lying, right? I think most people can tell when people are lying. Most people can be like, that story didn't happen. Your doctor didn't tell you that. Right? I don't know. Maybe I'm just being mean. Okay, do not accept compliments that insult your past self. Set firm boundaries. Do not hijack fat spaces to center your weight loss journey. That includes hashtags. No, I'm going to include the hashtags that I want because I want fat people to see that it's possible to lose the weight. There's no excuses anymore. We're done with excuses. Accept compliments. Do not accept compliments that insult your past self. Set firm boundaries. I will accept compliments that insult my past self. First of all, nobody's going to be like, oh my God, Robin, you were so fat before and now you look great. Nobody's insulting my past self. I think the only one that these fat acceptance people would think is like insulting my past self is be like,
You're like a completely different person.
or something like that.
I couldn't even recognize you.
You know, that maybe they'd be like,
I'm more than my body.
Or something like that. Do not assume that you can take up the same space you once did in the fat community. The way that you moved on through the world has changed. You need to become comfortable uplifting fatter voices and giving them space you previously took for yourself. If I was in the fat acceptance community and then I decided that I wanted to still be a part of that community and be like, it's totally fine to stay fat. I lost the weight. I would feel like such a fraud. Wouldn't you feel like such a fraud?
I purposely lost the weight, but I understand, it's totally fine for you to be fat and you're completely healthy. Health at every size. Like, it's fine. I chose to lose my weight and it wasn't, but I think it's fine to be fat.
Like, I would feel like such a fraud. Show me somebody who has intentionally lost weight and is still trying to actively be a part of the fat acceptance community. I won't get a lot. All right, self-reflection prompts. Oh, we're not doing that. We do not do prompts like that. Ex-fats, remember, value isn't measured in kilos or clothing sizes. Kilos, gross. Pounds, baby. It's measured in your actions, your words, the way you treat others. People will remember how you made them feel, not what you weighed. So choose care over cruelty every time. Fat liberation is a political movement that benefits anyone. You don't have to be fat to fight for the rights and safeties of fats. So when it comes to safety, I'm like, everybody deserves safety. That includes like on roller coasters, like in a car, like you need a seatbelt extender. Yes, you deserve it. Does your skinny friend need to carry a seatbelt extender in their car? No, that's your responsibility. Put that in your fucking purse. If you only get one click on the roller coaster's not made for you, baby. Wait for your friends on the sidelines. Sorry. You've outgrown your fish tank. The fat liberation is a political movement that benefits everyone. You don't have to be fat to fight for the rights and safety of fats. You know, the only rights I'm gonna fight for is the right to party. You gotta fight for your right to party. Okay, everybody, that's it. Please come back tomorrow because we are going to talk tea about that one creator. I forgot her name already. What's her name? The Fierce Fatty. Hope this is feeding you for the day. I hope this helped you. I hope this helped you get ready this morning. And if not, then I hope it's helping you drive home from work, depending on when I post this or when you are watching this. And if you're watching it at some weird ass hour, I hope your bath is going well. I hope your walk is good. Make sure you're not using both headphones. One headphone only, please. Keep your surroundings, know your surroundings. Watch out. And I hope you're carrying. Paulina, do not pee on that bed. I'm watching you. What else? All right, everybody. Thanks so much.
I want you to know that I'm never leaving, 'cause I miss the snow till death will be freezing. Yeah, you are my home for all seasons. So come on, let's go. Let's go below zero and hide from the sun. I'll love you forever, where we'll have some fun. Yes, let's hit the North Pole and live happily. Please don't cry, no tears now, it's Christmas, baby. My snowman and me. My snowman and me, baby.